Yes, last night I did stay up too late reading, hence the need for the big thing of the coffee. Welcome back and welcome to another reading vlog. If you have not already seen my Reading Rush TBR and tag video, I will leave that linked up here. You should go and watch that before watching this video, but then come back and see all my vlog shenanigans. Stay tuned until the end because I will be telling you my final page count and whether I met all of the challenges right at the end of the video. And if you enjoy my bookish content, make sure you subscribe for more, hit that bell to be notified. I will say as well, a lot of these books that I read this time, 3 of them were for the Social Distance Book Festival. So if you haven't already seen my video with all the information about that and my tag, I will also leave that linked, and I will leave all the information on that one if you're not sure what's happening in the description box. So I will hand over to me in my vlog right now, and I will be back to tell you my page count and final numbers at the end of the video. So it is the very first early hours of this mini reading rush, and I am reading something from my TBR, my Sea Breezes at Brightwater Bay, which has a house on the cover and is going to make me smile, and is most importantly the place where I want to go, because I really want to go to Orkney. Right now I want to go anywhere. I just really got the travel book right now, and it's the wrong time to have it, and it's just because someone told me I can't. But it will also be read entirely in this room. I mean, I only have 2 rooms to pick from, really, but it's literally going to take off all my challenges before we've got going, so then there's zero pressure. I just wanted to do a quick update from my TBR video, which if you haven't seen it, I will have linked it above already. I did not list an audiobook for these first 2 days. I only listed an audiobook for Saturday, Sunday, but I do have a page tune audiobook for these 2 days as well, and that is The Last Piece of My Heart, which I should have started by now and I haven't, but it's fine because it works out because I can read it as part of the readathon, because you need an audiobook on the go for the readathon. So I'm gonna continue to read this. It probably won't take very long because it's a 4-part series, so it's 4 novellas that then become one big book, and this is part 2. And there is whiskey, so I have whiskey. It's the only way to go. So last night I started and finished Sea Breezes at Brightwater Bay by Holly Hepburn, which is part 2 in the Brightwater Bay series. I've already reviewed it on my blog, so I'll leave that linked below. And then I went to bed and listened to some audiobook. I listened to the audiobook of The Last Piece of My Heart. Now, the first time I read this, I read it, I think I had a proof copy, either a physical proof. I've got a physical proof there, so it's probably that physical proof. I was going to say I might have had a proof on my phone, on my Kindle, sorry, phone. Open the coffee, maybe we'll snip it. And I'm not sure how well the audiobook is narrated. I'm just not sure if the narrator, oh that's cool, little like grip tab thing. And then what goes on next? Do I need to, it's good. I was very excited about this coffee, so it better be worth the effort of getting into it, because I was excited about ordering it. It came very quickly. And I've ripped the tab, and then now what? Having a lot of trouble getting into things. Oh, yeah, it's just like that. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's very clever. So yeah, I'm just not sure if the narrator like gets the tone of the book. It's all very kind of exciting, even when she's talking about somebody who's dead. It's like, I get that you want to make us enthused, but there's a time and a place. Let's see if this will seal again. It has not sealed yet. Oh, it's better. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Let's push the button and rock and roll. Yeah, so I listened to that and I put the sleep timer on. I think I must have fallen asleep. But I was doing some bits before that. So, book club just now. Virtual book club. Gonna be fun. Talking about books, not reading books, but then back to reading books after that. I might end up having to pour some out because it might be too cold. You know when you've got the jug of milk and it's just like psh, went wild. Yeah, that tastes nothing. That's what I do. Okay, it's a much better colour now. Can't see. No, can't see. It's just that it was quite a weak coffee, which they seem to vary whether they're strong or weak or not. We'll see. So book club is now finished. That was a lot of fun. And now I have my Kindle. I'm actually reading something that wasn't on my TBR. Big shocker, that's what readathons are meant for. I'm going to be reading Running by Natalia Sylvester, which is one of the authors that I'm going to be interviewing on my panel for the Social Distance Book Fest on this channel. So I'm going to get stuck into that because I didn't have that when I filmed my TBR, which is why it's now on my TBR. I don't know if it meets any of the challenges. I mean, it'll probably make me smile because reading makes me smile, and I might read it all in this room. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. I've got breakfast, so I've got more coffee, and of course I've got water. Remember to drink your water. So I need a cup of tea and a biscuit. So we're going to decorate these whilst listening to book, and that's going to be a little reading activity this afternoon. Yes, Christmas. Yes, gingerbread. It's going to be really nice though. We've done the cookies, now we just need the tea. So we just got done having dinner and we watched a movie. I haven't taken part in either the reading or the reading sprint today, just because on both occasions I was on a call, so I wasn't actually reading at that point. I think about half of the reading sprint I was listening to an audiobook, like the second half, just because I came along at the wrong point to kind of join in. So I'm at 52% of running. I've listened to more than half of my audiobook, and obviously I did my sea breezes at Brightwater Bay. I would like to read at least another 10% of my ebook. I'd like to try and read at least another 10% of my ebook, and then I need to do some emaily bits before going to bed, and I'll probably go to bed with audiobook on sleep timer because that's how you do it. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. So I did read the allotted 10% of my audiobook, but I ended up doing the stuff that I needed to do on the computer, not audiobook, ebook. I ended up doing the stuff that I needed to do on the computer before that. I think that was definitely better because then I could kind of get into bed and get cozy and read that 10% with a clearer mind. So I'm at 63% of the ebook. I've got about an hour left of this audiobook. but my eyes are just like starting to go now. So I think I'm gonna put this on with my sleep time. Although I don't know how long I would last with the sleep timer, to be honest. Yeah. So from my original TBR, I've read one thing, and I've read 2 things not from my TBR. It's fine though, because the audiobook of my TBR, the page tune audiobook, is for Saturday, Sunday, so that's okay. And I've got kind of stuff in the middle of the day on Saturday, Sunday, so having the audiobook for then will be a good thing. And I've added another ebook that I need to read ASAP, but it should be fine. I mean, I read an awful lot on day 1. Hopefully, as long as I wake up feeling okay tomorrow, I'm gonna be fine. I do, of course, have my book nerd cup of sleepy time tea ready for bed, so that's good. Okay, so this is the Salty Siren, which is like a salted mocha, which I like, you know, the salted cold foam cold brew at Starbucks. So we'll see if I like this. I'm going to try it without anything in it first of all, just to give it a try. Yeah, that's nice. It smells really nice. Definitely a stronger flavour than yesterday. Yep. Well, I just participated in the live reading on Instagram, which I didn't do yesterday, and timing wise I won't be able to do tomorrow or Sunday, so there's that. I should be able to do the reading sprints on Twitter today, tomorrow and Sunday, so that should be okay. Yeah, I was just on a call yesterday, so it's probably time to get dressed, really. I am at 75% of my ebook. I read another sort of 12% during that read-in, and I've listened to some audiobook this morning. So the audiobook and that ebook are definitely going to get finished this afternoon. That is not famous last words, it's happening. And then I'll be able to start a new ebook this evening, and I'll wait and probably start my new audiobook tomorrow. Might listen to a bit of something else, because you know, you got to put something on a sleep timer before you go to sleep. It's just how it works. There you go. I got dressed and I got another cup of coffee. Ollie's just out getting lunch, so we're gonna have some lunch when he goes back, but he had to go to FedEx to get something, so it was like, I'll pick up lunch. I am so nearly finished The Last Piece of My Heart by Paige Toon, which is my audiobook for these 2 days. Last check-in, I was at chapter 40. Here's today's bookmark for today's bookmark challenge. My Instagram's always in the description box if you missed that picture. I also pictured the croissant and the coffee because I love these bookmarks so much. Yeah, they take a while to get here, but I love them. But yeah, so that's page 344, which means... Sorry, I've read this before, it's not spoilers. I got like 50 pages left. So that's gonna happen. Forgot what a gorgeous floppy proof this is. And then Hayley pointed out that this came with a jigsaw, and I'm like, yes, I remember getting the jigsaw. Where's my jigsaw? It would make a good picture. Yeah. But for now, whilst I'm waiting for Ollie to get back, I'm gonna use this time to get on with chapter 33 of running. This is exactly 75%. I love when the chapters are on like even percentages. I can't stand when they finish on like 23%. I know that's like not something that they can control, but it pleases me when it's an exact number. This is a really weird angle. It's because I've got you on the small tripod. So yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit more of this, and then when Ollie gets back, I'm gonna have some lunch. I am dressed, but I still have a blanket because it's still a bit cold. My feet are a bit cold. Not as cold as it was yesterday. It got down to -7 yesterday. C, not F. I think some people think I'm talking about F. I don't know what it was, F, like teens? Does that make sense? Does that sound like about -7? I know when it's minus 11 or 12 here, it's 12. So that it's the same, and obviously I know that 32 is 0. Anyway, I digress. Let's read books. So it is just about time for the evening reading rush Twitter sprint. So we're fixing ourselves a little reading cocktail to go with it. I remembered that we had Aperol, so put some Prosecco in the fridge, because even though there's a bit of snow on the ground, it has warmed up out there. So we're going to fix that and join in with the reading sprint. So I've done both kind of read-ins, read-along things today. It's just like when you see me doing my Enchanted fandom drinking vessel unboxing and cocktail making. Very, very similar. So yeah, I don't tend to measure this out. It's just like, we'll do some Prosecco and add some Aperol to it. I am at 86% of my current ebook. So during this reading sprint, I might finish that. Let's see. I just do it by like eye colour. That's the colour we are to begin with. How's that? That could handle a bit more. That'll do. Else I will need more Prosecco in it. Okay, I have 14% left of this book, so I'm making a commitment now that the next time you see me, I will have finished the book. I can't promise whether I will have finished the cocktail or not. I mean, it's likely, but I will have finished the book. And this glass is making my trousers glittery, and I'm here for it. So we're doing a 15-minute sprint right now. I've finished my last ebook, so I'm now starting The Year of Witching, and I'm starting that at the start of the reading sprint. It's very bright. It's like nice lighting right here. There's film videos here all the time. Okay, so I read 4% during that first reading sprint. My reading maybe slowed down a bit because my, Friday night happy hour cocktail. But there could be other reasons. I don't know. I had to come in during that last reading sprint because somebody started grilling outside, and it was so smoky it was making me cough. Like I can still feel it in my throat now. I don't know how. It was so smoky. Like I'm inside now, but obviously the window's a bit open. I can still smell it. Like, just really got to me. Like, I'm not directly over the grilling area, but it was horrible. So that kind of put paid to that last reading sprint. So update on the Year of Witching ebook. I have read 57%. And now I'm going to put my audiobook on, put my sleep timer on, because I reckon I've only got probably 30 to 40 minutes of that left. So yeah, I'm going to put that on, sleep timer on, and go to sleep. That's a close on day 2. As you know, I ticked off all my challenges with that first novella I read, and I'll have read that novella, plus my audiobook, plus running on ebook, and 57% of Year of Witching on ebook, which I think is a pretty good start. I'm hopefully going to have an earlier start tomorrow. I say hopefully. I have to have an earlier start tomorrow because I've got some stuff going on between 11 and 1. If I've got that timing right. Yes. It's really hard switching between time zones. Really hard. But yeah, Year of Witching, very different from what I usually read. However, I have enjoyed things with witches in the past. Maybe this is an untapped resource I have. Maybe I actually like fantasy if it's about witches. And I suppose wizards as well, because, Harry Potter. is this something I've just discovered as part of the reading rush? Oh, I just don't know. Didn't think of that. Well, you know, that's something to think about going to bed. Before I got in the shower, I put the coffee machine on. I was stood in the shower washing my hair and it was like, I can smell coffee. At first I was like, I can smell burning. And then I was like, no, I put the coffee machine on, you can smell coffee. And then it was much more exciting than when I can smell burning. Yes, I'll catch up with you when I've had some coffee. Okay, why did no one tell me that I haven't been using my reading rush mug during this reading rush readathon? I should have been using it. I haven't. I don't know why no one told me. I've gone with the salty siren again this morning. Just because it was nice and strong yesterday and I drank all of it, so I'm going with that again. So this morning so far, aside from my cup of coffee, feeling a little bit more awake now than last time I spoke to you. I have filmed 2 videos and then I've been doing a practice session for the live stream for the Social Distance Book Fest next Saturday. So that has taken up 2 hours of my morning, but it's been really useful. So no reading has happened so far. I did check briefly into the live reading with Monica on Instagram, but obviously because I'm live streaming on here, which I'll show you in a minute, I was just kind of checked in. I wasn't doing any reading, but I was able, because there's not been people on here the whole time, I was able to start editing those videos as well. So that's quite cool. Let me see if you can see my setup. We got the laptop and then the regular phone. So we're live streaming here, vlogging here. It's all good. Lunch is getting made in the kitchen. It's the technology of today. Wow. So I'm mainly doing audiobook this afternoon until the reading sprint. I think at the reading sprint I will start maybe something that was actually on my TBR, maybe not. But I'm like 2/3 of the way into this audiobook now. I'm at 66%, so may as well carry on with it now, and then I can do some sorting out at the same time. Change in the weather. Ew. I'm just stood here going, it's 7 minutes to the reading sprint. I'm going, I don't know what I want to drink, and I don't know what I want to read, because I just finished that book I was reading, and I don't know whether to start my mum's big break book, which might be called something else. But if it is, it's the sequel to Mum's Big Break, or it is Mum's Big Break. So vague. Or whether to read one of my shorter books and kind of get that done. I think maybe starting the other ebook might be a good idea. We'll start it on my Kindle and see how we get on. Because, yeah, I'm on the blog tour for it on Friday, which is less than a week away, and it's published on Thursday. So, yeah, okay. So now I just need to decide on the drink. Okay, quick check-in before this next sprint starts. I have read on audio The Last Piece of My Heart by Page 2. On ebook, I have read The Year of Witching by Alexis Henderson, who will be on my panel on Saturday. I've also read Running by Natalia Sylvester, who will also be on my panel on Saturday. And I have read Sea Breezes at Brightwater Bay, which is part 2 in the Brightwater Bay series by by Holly Hepburn. And that one was the only one that's actually on my TBR. So for this reading sprint, I've decided I'm going to start Mum's something. I will double check. I'll put the Kindle on. So I've got my Kindle. I went with iced tea because I'm quite thirsty right now and it's warmed up a bit here. It seems to have like rained and that's like broken the cold a little bit. It is due to warm up. So let's see what the book's called. We'll wait for the Kindle to warm up. Talk amongst yourselves. It is called Mum's Big Break. I was right. What's the first one called then? So this is the sequel. It's by Louise Emma Clark, and it's the sequel to the first book that she wrote. Such a good booktuber, aren't I? But yeah, it's like this format, a bit like your Bridget Jones' Diary, having watched that film recently. I do have a book versus movie of that one on my channel, but it's like, yeah, followers, 93,350. Oh my God, I wish. Weeks pregnant, 26 months pregnant, 5 awards, 1 free holidays, 1. So yeah, it's the last one was very good and very funny, but it's time to sprint. Let's rock and roll. I actually read quite a lot that reading sprint, and I carried on reading afterwards for 45 minutes. So I've now read 20% of Mum's Big Break. So we're going to stop and have some dinner. I'm just finishing off my martini. And then probably do some more reading before bed. But I'm enjoying that book. It's nice. It's a bit of a change of pace of the other things I've been reading lately. So that's quite nice. I like a little mummy blogger book. Saturday night, so we're going to do a little Bailey's coffee. It's night time, so it's decaf, obviously. Let's do this. Well, you know you've been reading a lot in the day when your Kindle's like, charge me, charge me. To be fair, it is an older Kindle, so it needs charging more, but yeah. I have been... Thanks for that reassurance on my vlog. I appreciate it. I have been reading a lot today. So I started reading this one in the reading sprint at 6 o'clock. And then I read some until dinner, and then we had dinner, and then I've read some more. So at 36% right now. It's made me cry once, it's made me laugh. I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of glad to be back in this world. It's reminded me how much I love sort of diary style books, and books that have letters in as well. And this has both. So that's good. So yeah, so I'm going to read some more just now. I can see myself reading a decent chunk. It's like 11 o'clock right now. I can still read a decent amount more. Yeah, so finished. I already told you what I finished. I haven't started another audiobook, and I think probably what I'll do is I'll try and focus on this book, and then if I've got time left over, I'll then dive into those 2 shorter books. So I have Meet Me at Pebble Beach Part 3, which I didn't have when I made my TBR, otherwise that would have been on my TBR. I also have that quick reads one, which was on my TBR. And then I have 2 that I need to read within the next week, plus my Page Toon book. So it's like, oh, do I jump into one of the 2? But I like to kind of finish a readathon with like a clean finish. As you know, if you've watched my other readathon vlogs, have a whole playlist. Don't know if I've mentioned that. Yeah, I'll update you before going to bed, obviously. Just having a good hair day today. Enjoying it. Right, we're cracking out the big guns this morning. Gonna do some iced coffee with some fresh espresso. Oh yes. Because we were up late finishing our book.
go then. Some bubbly fresh espresso. You see it steaming. Don't know if you can. But we've got ice and caramel shaken here. So see how that is for. Nope, need more coffee. I thought I would. I'm gonna go with the full thing, because why not? Gonna keep caffeinated. So yes, last night I did stay up too late reading, hence the need for the big thing of the coffee. But I did finish Mum's Big Break, and I kept reading it because I was really enjoying it. And then I started Meet Me at Pebble Beach because I realised I don't just have part 3 of that one, I also have the full thing, so I can literally read the next 2 parts, and by reading part 3, reviewing that, and then reading the last part of the full thing. So that's why I decided to start that one. I know I said I had like some short books and what have you, but you know, I have part 3 for review and I have the whole thing for review. So by reading part 3 and then reading the end of part 4, I can review the whole thing. Since I have read them all fairly recently, I'll be able to write my whole review for that one. This is the thing about reading multiple books. Obviously I did about books a week ago and was left over with a lot of reviews from that one. I didn't do too badly at writing the reviews like one at a time for that one, but the things that I've read for this one are basically all NetGalley books, so need to write my reviews for it. I'm on the blog tour for Mum's Big Break, so have to review that one anyway, and then the others are NetGalley, so I need to post my reviews on there and on my blog. So tomorrow, not only am I going to be editing and uploading this vlog, I'm also going to be writing multiple reviews. So created quite a bit of work for myself, and by starting Meet Me at Pebble Beach, I've therefore created at least another 2 reviews for myself on top of the 3 from the books that I've already read. The Page Toon one, I've already read and reviewed that one, so I don't need to review that one again. But yeah, I'm just putting together my movie reviews video because it's Sunday, so I filmed that yesterday and I'm just uploading it, so I'll link it up above if you haven't already seen it. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else to update you on. I need to make some decisions about where my reading's going to take me after I'm done with Pebble Beach Part 3. Do I want to jump into, probably I want to jump into Pebble Beach Part 4. Very helpfully in the multiple part bits, the chapters are labelled like the chapters in the book, so I'll just be able to click on my Kindle, go to whatever the next chapter is after the one I finish in Part 3, and I'll be effectively reading Part 4, so that's cool. And then yeah, I feel like I do want to do another audio, but I also have my quick reads, so I think I need to kind of do that first, because that's on my April TBR and was on my Reading Rush TBR, and then I'll have read 3 of the 4 things I put on my Reading Rush TBR, which isn't too bad. And I ended up reading a different Page Toon than I listed, so technically I had a Page Toon book on my TBR. I read a Page Toon book, it's fine. So yeah, I'll get on with this guy. Gonna do some more live testing later, but might be able to get some reading before, I don't know. Not committing to it, but I will definitely get some reading in after I am committing to that. So I am now 62% through Meet Me at Pebble Beach Part 3. I have finished my coffee, so I'm gonna go and get some water. You know, we drank this much coffee, we need to drink this much water, and join another practice live stream. So there's my plans. I'll see you in about an hour.
So I finished part 3 of the Pebble Beach series, Sink or Swim. I'm just writing my review because I thought if I start part 4 without writing my review for part 3, I'm going to have forgotten what happened in part 3 and I won't be able to distinguish between the 2 parts. So I'm writing my review for that now, and then I'll jump into part 4. I think whilst I'm still on the Pebble Beach buzz, I will do the rest of part 4 this afternoon. And then I'm planning on, during the reading sprint on Twitter this afternoon, picking up my crime book, and then probably do some in the bath reading later because it's kind of a cozy Sunday night thing to do. And then yeah, I'll probably start my April 23rd release that I've got left, because obviously that's only this week. I don't know how I can be reading so many books and be behind with that, but then I looked and it's because it's been pushed from being in May to now being in April. So I had it on my NetGalley thing and it was saying May, and now it's suddenly saying April. So that's where I got behind on that, because I was ahead. But 2 of my other things for the end of April and the beginning of May have now been pushed to next year, so it kind of all balances out. And I have 1 more book to read for the Social Distance Book Festival on Saturday. I was hoping to get that read this weekend, but very small print and my eyes are too tired right now, and it's a PDF, so it's like can't really make it bigger. So we'll see, but good news, I've written the review for this one because I'm gonna have so many reviews to write tomorrow, so this is one less. So I can state that the Reading Rush mug does hold a whole can of Princess Yum Yum beer. Just FYI, I never knew this was actually raspberry flavour. I just thought it was like soury fruity. There you go. Fun fact of the day. Ready to go outside for that final reading sprint. Oh yeah. So I popped on a cardigan because it's a little bit chilly. I've got the beer. I've decided I'm going to read that detective quick reads book because I need to read that for multiple reasons, and then I'll get back into my NetGalley bits and pieces after dinner. So we're going to pick up The Darkness Rising by A.A. Dand, which is introducing Detective Inspector Harry Verdi. He has a lot on his plate. His team is facing government cuts. Tensions are building between Bradford's 2 rival drug gangs, and his wife Sima is due to give birth any day now. Didn't know this was set in Bradford. So when bodies start turning up in the old industrial district, the pressure is on to get the case wrapped up. So this is one of these cases where this is a quick reads where I wouldn't normally read this genre, and therefore I wouldn't have discovered this author. However, it's a quick read, it's £1. It's not going to take me too long to read. That's what quick reads is all about. I just read the prologue and it's quite sweary and a bit violent so far, so I'm quite into it. Why not? So that first sprint was a 15-minute sprint and I read from page 19 to page 35, so 16 pages. Quite big writing, so that's not too bad. We're going for another 15-minute sprint in 5 minutes, so we'll see how much I read there. So I just got to chapter 7, and so far definitely a lot of drugs and some prostitution and some death and some violence, and it's not too police procedural. There's some relationships in there as well, so it's an interesting balance, but definitely kind of more sex and drugs and swearing and violence than I was expecting. So thanks to that second reading sprint, I'm now at page 62. that last sprint was a 10-minute sprint, and everything's going to a head in the book. We're nearly at the end. So I read 20 pages in that last 10 minutes. Read from 72 to 92, and it finishes on like 108. So yeah. So I did get an answer to the kind of crimey part of the novel, but the personal part of the novel seems to have been like left hanging. And so on Goodreads that this is officially listed as the Detective Harry Verdi 0.5. This obviously takes place before a series. I don't know if that series is out or if it's coming out. I should probably check that. But yeah, we got the answer to the, like I say, the crimey part of it, with a lot of kind of rogue cop movie cliches, but you know, they're cliches for a reason, aren't they? But the personal side of it was a bit like left up in the air, and I quite like that. Like, I like the fact that it had that kind of domestic personal side to it, as well as the drugs and the murder and the mean streets of Bradford. Yeah, I was pleased that they went for a curry as well, because I was like, you can't be in Bradford and not go and have a curry. So now I'm gonna go and have a curry. It's dinner time. So we've come to the portion of a Catriona reading vlog, readathon vlog, where I talk to you as I'm about to get in the bath. I finished the detective story, which was 108 pages. I've also done Pebble Beach Part 3 and Brightwater Bay Part 2. So those are the 3 novellas that I've done. Each of those were all read in the same room. They all have a house on the cover. One of them's like a beach hut. And 2 out of the 3 made me smile. I mean, it was nice to see a bit of Yorkshire in a book. That's always nice when you're far away from home. And then I read Running and The Year of Witching, which I believe I read both of those in the same room as well. And then I also read The Mum's Big Break, which was my one for having a house on the cover, but it's kind of got a kitchen on the cover, so we'll use a different one for a house on the cover. But it made me smile. I read it all in the one bed. And what is the 4th challenge? With a house on the cover in the same room, makes you smile. Yeah, at like 9 o'clock on the 4th day of the readathon. I've forgotten one of the challenges. I don't know. But yeah, so I've read 3 novels and 4 novellas. I am currently partway through Pebble Beach Part 4 on ebook. It's very like ebook heavy month this month for me. I just have a lot of review books, so if it's an ebook or an audiobook, I don't know that I've read any physical books, which is strange. Oh yeah, and I listened to my Page Toon book as well, which also, oh, Somewhere You Want to Go. Yes, that was the Brightwater Bay one. Although some of the restaurants that they went to in Last Piece of My Heart were also exciting. So I've read 4 novels. How is that? 4 novels, 3 novellas, partway through another novella, and I'm about to pick up a non-fiction book right now in the bath with like 3 hours left of the readathon to go. Obviously I know I'm not going to finish it, and I know I said I normally like to leave the readathon on a like finished book, but I might read a chunk of it after midnight tonight and then it might finish. But like, the look of me right now, like I stayed up late reading 2 nights in a row. Don't think it's gonna happen again tonight. But yeah, that's right, that's what the other challenge was. I mean, I wouldn't like to go to Bradford right now. Running's set in Miami and I've never been to Miami, so there's somewhere I could go. But yeah, I'm gonna get in the bath because it's Sunday night and it's like a cozy Sunday night thing to do. Although it has warmed up a lot here, I think it's gonna be a bit of a nice week. I think we've got rain coming and that's it, which is unusual again for Denver. Seeing some rain in this vlog, crazy. But yeah, I'll let you know how I get on with my bath time reading before we begin our bedtime reading. So what happened when I got in the bath was that I just kind of went, my eyes are like, no, you're tired, Catriona, you're tired. So I read the last part of Pebble Beach, which I had already started, as you know. So I had about 11% of that left to read. And I read that and I just laid there, and then I was like, I know there's an hour left of the readathon, and I could read an hour of my Kindle book, but I wouldn't get it finished. And right now I'm just tired, whereas tomorrow I'll wake up and be excited about reading that book because it's like a really anticipated book for me. So I decided to get out of the bath and just kind of call it there. So yeah, I'll be right back with my wrap up and my page count, because I know that's what you want to hear. So there you go. I did tick off all my challenges. And in terms of my actual TBR, I read 3 of the books from my TBR. Yeah, the only one was I switched out my Page Tune one. So the first one that I did was I listened to all of The Last Piece of My Heart by Page Tune. I listened to this on audiobook. I didn't end up reading my other Page Tunes, so I wanted to save that for just reading this week. And this one was 400 pages. And this made me smile. I read it all in this room. It's a handy thing about having a 1-bedroom apartment. You've got either this room or that room, that's it. So yeah, this was our Page Tune read for the week. If you haven't seen my Page Tune readathon video, I'll leave it in the end screen for you, because we've only got 2 reads left now until release of her new one. So exciting. Yeah, it made me smile. It's got a house on the cover, like, just meets all the challenges. It's all good. And then also physical book wise, I have Darkness Rising by A.A. Dand, which also has houses on the cover. And I read this all in the one place that wasn't a room, it was on my balcony, and I read it all on the balcony. So that's kind of a little extra layer of challenge that I've added there. I definitely wouldn't want to go to Bradford though, not right now. I think I'm good, especially not this Bradford with all the drug dealers and murders and things. It's just no. But that one was 144 pages. Then another one from my actual TBR. This is Mum's Big Break by Louise Emma Clark, which is also on my April TBR, and I'm on the blog tour for this one. My blog's linked in the description. I will have a review up on Friday if you're watching this as it goes up on Tuesday. A review up on Friday the 24th of April. I say that so confidently because of course Social Distance Book Fest is on the 25th, which is a Saturday. It's how I'll work backwards there. It's all good. And this one was listed as 239 pages, but it felt like it was about 300. It doesn't feel as short as 239, but that's what it's listed as, so we have to go with that. Then the couple that I read for the Social Distance Book Festival, and therefore they weren't on my TBR when I filmed my TBR because I didn't have these books yet. This one is Running by Natalia Sylvester. So make sure you are subscribed so that you see my interview with her and the other 4 panel members on Saturday. It will be live here at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 9 p.m. UK time or 2 p.m. Mountain time, depending where you're watching this. I'm not going to list all the time zones, but you know, you get those 3 from me. And this one was great, and I did this all on audio, and it is 336. Again, if you want to find out more about it, you'll have to tune into her panel. And then also on my panel, I will have Alexis Henderson, who wrote The Year of the Witching. This one was 368 pages, and she will be talking on the panel as well. And I did this on ebook, and I read both of those also in this same room. There's no house on the cover of either of those, but that's okay. And then on to the other novellas that I read, because I ended up reading 4 novels and 3 novellas. One I've already told you about. The second one was actually the first book I read as part of the readathon. You'll have seen from my vlog. This was Sea Breezes at Brighter Water Bay, and this ticks off all 4 challenges. I read it all sitting right there on my sofa. It has a lighthouse on the cover as well as another house. It is set in Orkney, which I've always wanted to go to, and I would love to go there, and I'm being able to travel there thanks to this series. This is book 2 in the Brightwater Bay series. It is 100 pages long and it very definitely made me smile. So this ticked off all 4 challenges so that I could just read what I wanted for the rest of the readathon. And then the other 2 novellas that I read, sorry, so I read 4 novels and 4 novellas. Wow, okay. I mentioned that was 100 pages. Where are they? Here we go. I read Meet Me at Pebble Beach Part 3, which is Sink or Swim. And also Part 4, this is a great picture of Part 4, which is Seize the Day. So I read the second half of the whole book. Part 3 is out on the 30th of April. Part 4 is out on the 14th of May. And then the entire bind up of the series is out on the 28th of May. So these have been releasing, I think it's 28th. It might come out on the 14th. All these like publication dates are getting moved around, so don't quote me on that one. I'll leave links in the description box if you want to pre-order these. But this series is set in Brighton. There are beach huts on the cover. It made me smile and I read it all in this one room. And there are beach huts on the cover of both of those. Although the final cover has, what's the final cover also has beach huts on, so it's kind of like a house. But yeah, those have been releasing in like 2-week intervals, which I actually really like. The Brightwater Bay series, there's like 2 or 3 months between each release, so it's really difficult waiting. But the Pebble Beach series, there is not a lot of waiting in between. You only have to wait 2 weeks, or if you're lucky enough to have an early copy like me, you can binge read them all at once. If you are another blogger, the entire bind up of it is available for request on NetGalley right now, so go for that one. So those are, the Pebble Beach ones are 88 and 90 pages respectively. So are you ready for my final page count total for my 4 novels and 4 novellas read over 4 days? My final page count total is 1,765 pages, which I think is pretty good for 4 days worth of reading. That's a bit like if you'd read 3 long books, like 3 500-page books, so pretty good, you know, with some change. Obviously I can do maths. But yeah, I enjoyed the readathon. I took part, as you'll have seen from the vlog, in some of the sprints and some of the lives and all of the Instagram challenges. Instagram is always linked in the description box as well. I will leave that page tune announcement video, and I'll also leave my TBR again in case you missed it in the end screen here. Make sure you subscribe so that my next video lands in your subscription feed, and I will definitely see you on Saturday for my Social Distance Book Fest panel right here, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, with all these wonderful authors, and you'll get to hear a bit more about the books that I've been reading this week as well. Yay! Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon.